In this 9th lesson on the pentatonic minor scale, we're going to start learning the first of 4 melodies. If you don't know how to bend strings, we advise you to stop right here, go to our step-by-step into soloing course, and learn to make bends. You start right off in lesson 1, learning bending of strings, and get comfortable with that. Then you can come back here. Now, if you want to do the whole of the step-by-step course, it's 11 parts, and by the end of that, you'll be playing a 12-bar solo using the pentatonic minor scale and bending strings and doing a bunch of other cool stuff that is applied here. All right, for the rest of you who know how to bend strings, let's keep going. All right, in learning to play these melodies, we're going to be applying what's called the additive approach. If you don't know what that means, it's basically this. Instead of tackling the whole melody, we're going to break it down into bite-sized pieces. This makes learning complicated things much easier because you're not overwhelmed by the whole. You're learning just the first bits. Then you take the second bits and you learn those independent of the first bits. Okay? Then once you've got that down, you attach it to the first bits and you play both the first and the second bits together. And then you move on by going to the third bits and learning those independent and then attaching them to the first and second bits. Along the way, the first bits are going to start sounding really good. The second bits are falling into place as the third bits you're beginning to get comfortable with. So along the way, as you add new parts, new bits, your first few bits start really sounding good because you're repeating, playing them with each addition. So you're getting better at the earlier stuff as you're adding new stuff. And that's the whole idea behind the additive approach. All right? Now, if it's still a little confusing, let's just get going and you'll understand it by the time this video is over. All right? Let's go. All right, now we've got the first measure starting at the 5th fret on the 4th string, and it's a half note with a dot, so it's a dotted half note. Now, a half note is equal to 2 quarter notes, so it's worth 2 beats. Half of a half note is a quarter, so the dot being worth half the note it's attached to, as you learned in lesson 8 during the rhythm bits, it's equal to 1 quarter. So that's 3 quarters, meaning 3 beats. So you hold that first note for 3 beats. So it goes like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and then we go to the 3rd string at the 3rd fret for 4, and then the 5th fret of the same string for and. So it would go like this. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now, if you're looking at my right hand, you're going to see me making these little movements like this. My picking hand. So 1 and 2 and. It helps me keep time and proper picking orientation. Okay, so let's look at that first measure again. 3 and 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, pretty easy, right? Pause the video anyway, play through it, get it down, count it out loud. Then, when you're ready to continue, restart the video and we'll keep going. Okay, now we ended on the 5th fret of the 3rd string. We're going to continue because we're going to do a bend from the 5th fret up to the 7th fret note. That's our target note. So go up to the 7th fret, play that note, and that's what you bend up to, like that. So you're going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so that first note you play is a half note, no dots, so only 2 beats. 1 and 2 and then you release the bend and play at the 5th fret on the same string, 3 and 4, because it's a dotted quarter note, so you're borrowing from 4, and then you play the and of 4, the 3rd fret of the 3rd string. So it goes like this, that second measure, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay? Pause the video. Practice that measure. Then, when you're ready to continue, press play. We'll keep going. All right. Let's put both measures together. You ready? 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. One more time. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Pause the video. Play through this. If you need to rewind and listen to it and play along with it if you're able at that tempo, do so. Count out loud. Know where your notes belong. Note placement is important. Okay? Then, after you played through it a couple of times, put it to a metronome at a tempo you can actually play it, smooth and flowing. Then, when you've done that a few times, restart the video and we'll keep going. All right, let's go to the next two measures. Measures 3 and 4. Now, we're still here at the 5th fret on the 3rd string as we begin this 3rd measure. Now, it begins with 2 8th notes, and that's 1 and. So you'll go 1 and. So 5th to 3rd fret, 1 and then come over the 4th string at the 5th fret for 2 and, again for 3 and 4, because 3 is a dotted quarter note, borrowing from the 4th beat again, and then play the 3rd fret of the 3rd string on the and of 4. So that first measure here, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So let's count it out here. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right, pause the video. Again, if you need to rewind it anytime, go ahead and do that. Review, play through this, count it out. Remember what a dotted quarter, that's 3 and 4, and then you play the and of 4. Play through it. When you're ready to continue, press play, and we'll go on to the next measure. Okay, the next measure is basically a repeat, sort of the measure we just played. So you start again, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now on 4 and, you're doing a transition, so lead with your first finger up to the 5th fret. So we're leaving primary position and moving up to extended position. Let's play that second measure again there, which is actually the 4th measure. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right, so pause the video, practice that measure. When you're ready to continue, we'll keep going. Okay, one note before we play both measures. Transitioning, play, relax, but keep your finger on the string, move up, press, and play. So it'd be 4 and. So there's a little separation between the notes. You don't slide like that. Press, release, press, and play. Okay? All right. So let's play measures 3 and 4. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right. One more time. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay? Pause the video. Practice these two measures. Put it to a metronome. Try to be at the same tempo you did the first two measures. And then when you're ready to continue, we'll put all 4 measures together. All right. So now you're beginning to understand the additive process, the additive approach. And here it is in action. You've learned the first 2 measures. Now you've learned the second 2 measures. We're putting them together. We're playing the first 4 measures of the melody. Here we go. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 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 3 and 4 and. One more time. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 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 3 and 4 and. All right? Cool. Pause the video if you want to rewind and listen back and follow along on the notation in your notes that we provided. Go ahead and do that. Another thing I want to have you notice is between the notation staff and the tablature staff, you'll see it says primary. This is all played in the first position until you make the transition at the end of the 4th measure. It's important to remember primary, extended, nested, tied, and aligned. The 5 positions you learned in the first 5 lessons, right? And you applied them learning your transitions in lessons 6 and 7, okay? Now we're putting it all to work here for you. So go ahead, pause the video, play through this, put it to a metronome, all right? Try to get it up to 60 beats a minute if you're not already there. That's the slowest of the backing tracks that we provide for you, okay? We have 60, 70, 80, and 90. 90 is full tempo, all right? So when you're ready to continue, press play, and we'll wrap it up for this lesson. Okay, there you go. Play through this. Get it down. Again, use the metronome. Make sure that you're putting your notes in the right place by verbalizing 1 and 2 and. Count out loud. I've been playing forever. I still count out loud when I'm doing stuff, especially when I'm learning it, so that I know I'm putting my notes in the right place or I'm doing the rhythm part correctly. It involves counting things out. It's a valuable skill to use, to have, and apply because it makes sure that you know when things are supposed to occur. Okay? All right, that'll do it for this lesson. And there's another lesson coming right after this, right? We'll see you there. Hey, thanks for watching. Make sure you hit the subscribe button down there in the lower right-hand corner, or below the video, there's the big red subscribe button, and next to it's a gray notification bell. Press that, and you'll be notified when we have new content up here at Outsmart Your Guitar. Down below, also in the description area, you'll see a link where you can go and download the written material for this lesson as well. And below that, you'll see another link that will take you over to Outsmart Your Guitar on Patreon. Go on over, check that out. There's content there that's not available here. And subscribe at one of the two levels and become a patron. All right? Remember, here at Outsmart Your Guitar, we are dedicated to helping you learn, play, and grow to become the guitar player you desire to be, to play the music you want to play, even write your own music. All right? Thanks for your time. See you soon.